and let's roll out. Roll out, roll out, roll out. Let's roll out.
Let's get it popping, player.
Let's do it. Yeah. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Food, Fitness, and Fun. And I'm here with...
Sensei Dre. The Dre-ness. The Sensei of Fitness. And a whole bunch of other things you ain't never heard of.
Mucho más. You know what I'm saying? Mucho más. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
Sensei, so you don't never know what's in this. You don't ever know what's in his utility belt. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just the teacher. Unfortunately, KRS-One took that about 30 years ago. But
you know what I'm saying? You might can rebrand though. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Like I definitely inspired by KRS-One, you know.
And that's a beautiful thing.
And that's what's up.
That's a beautiful thing. Yo, real quick, because we up here, did you get to see all the Men's Health magazine stuff going on with our squad, with our hip hop icons?
Oh, so I saw what you sent me via IG, and it looked dope. I didn't take a look at any of the articles and stuff, but you know, I'm with all that. You know what I'm saying? I saw, you know, Meth up there and Busta, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, that's what's up. You know what I mean? I'm loving all of that, you know?
Yeah, so it's Method Man, 50 Cent, Busta Rhymes, Ludacris, and Wiz Khalifa. And I thought that was really cool. The only thing is, and they also are starting to roll out like content or video stuff. There's a video of Busta Rhymes being asked like different questions about things throughout his career. And they asked some really good questions, to be honest. So I thought that was cool. I saw it this morning, actually, the Busta Rhymes one. Yeah, this morning.
Okay. Yeah, you know, we'll definitely comment on some of it because, you know, that's definitely, like you said, hip hop icons. And I'm sure I'm going to have opinions about things they say, whether I agree or disagree. So, yeah.
And my only concern is, you know, I know hip hop is 50 this year and it's a really big deal. So everybody wants to get their piece of the pie.
Yeah.
But it kind of feels exploitative a little bit. Like, I don't think some of these organizations really f us. And that is my, I'm going to have to bleep it because we're like a minute in and I'm cursing. But I don't think they really bang with us, some of these organizations. I feel like it's kind of like when Pride comes around or when like Black Lives Matter is going, everybody wants to, you know, put up a sign in the window, put out a piece of merch that says we stand with you. That's kind of the vibe I get. And actually me and Days were talking about this the other day. Shout out to Days if you see this. Because he showed me the cover not knowing. He showed me the Men's Health magazine stuff not knowing I'd seen it already. But yeah, I just think it's interesting. Obviously, I love it, right? It's like a two-sided coin. We want our people to get as much love and adoration as possible. But on the flip side, it's like, yeah, but would they do this if it wasn't the 50-year anniversary?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course not.
Yeah, like
no, they wouldn't. But you know, it's exploitative, and of course we know Black people throughout the centuries have always been exploited. But that's what corporate America does anyway. Black, gay, whatever, they're gonna exploit. That's how corporate. That's the mindset of the corporate America. So whatever bandwagon is going on, they're just like, yo, how can we make money from this? So it isn't, you know, it could be Secretary's Week, and if everybody's on Secretary's Week, they're like, "Yo, hold on," you know. So
we have to spotlight. We have to spotlight all of the secretaries,
right? Exactly.
In our lives and in our communities and in our world,
the ones who made a difference. You know,
right? Exactly.
You know, I get it when like Teachers Appreciation comes up, everybody jumps on the bandwagon. So that's the thing. Like everything is about a trend. You know, not necessarily your principles and what you believe in. It's like, well, if 50 million mofos is doing it, then how can we make money from this too? You know?
Right.
And so, yeah, they corny like everybody else. So whatever, you know?
Agreed.
But yeah. But, yo, let's get our show started. And, you know, like I said, we're going to talk about meth and all that. When I see it, maybe we'll do that.
Yeah, we got time.
But I want to start off the food portion. Now sponsored by. This is a.
Wait a minute. I didn't even introduce myself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just jumped right into
you know what I mean? I don't even.
No, it's all right. It's not your fault. It's my fault.
But
you know
listen, what I'm saying? I don't even know who you are. So can you?
Nobody knows who I am. You know what I'm saying? Who is this guy with Dre?
Who are you?
I mean, we've got some random guy with the sensei of everything. I don't know who this guy is. Well, for those who don't know, hi, I am JD, aka He Who Pods. You know what I'm saying? All right, now our sponsored by segment.
All right, let's get it popping. So this is it'll be up on the screen. This is
as always
some chicken, some sausage, some peppers, some green beans, and some carrots all together in a nice little bowl. So it's not a ton of protein, but it's a good amount of protein. So I'll say it's probably about 20 to 30 grams of protein. And the calories is almost nothing because it's just vegetables. So I don't even maybe it's 200 calories or less.
Yeah.
200 calories max. But in terms of being filling, incredibly filling, I'm always trying to watch the weight, not get too much calories, and eat as much veggies as possible. And I just put this together real quick. I like my quick meals. This is basically something you put in that pan. Let it stir, let it get hot, and get your vegetables with it, and you're done. Right. Don't waste no time with all this whatever. But I like quick meals. That's just my thing. And so,
hey, listen, nothing wrong with that. And it looked good. You sent it to me the other day, and I said, man, that looked good right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's what's up.
Sweet.
All right.
And let me ask you.
Yes, sir.
Are you? So you mentioned the grams and stuff. So you're still weighing the food and checking the grams on everything?
Not on everything. So calories somewhat sometimes. And to me, the most important macronutrient for me is protein. I just want to make sure I'm getting enough protein because I am still trying to, build muscle. Now, I've lost a considerable amount of weight. I'm at that point right now, like jeans and stuff is getting mad loose or whatever, which is good. I still want to take it down some more because I'm having fun doing this. And but I'm still not trying to lose muscle. So I just make sure, hey, whatever I'm eating, does it have enough protein? Everything else I don't really care about, but the protein is the thing that's more important to me. Yeah.
Got it. And listeners and viewers, if you've been here a while, like we say all the time, what we do should be based on what our goals are. And so if you've been here a while, you can hear and see the way that we eat and the way that we exercise has changed. And we've discussed it throughout our time here. So that's why I asked Dre. At one point, he was very heavy, in case there's anybody new here, At one point, Dre was living and dying by weighing the food and finding out the grams he was intaking. Today, Dre's on a different wave.
Yeah, and
so that's why I asked.
Yeah, and you make adjustments. So check this out. Here's the segue, right? Speaking of making adjustments, all right, today we want to talk about safety when you're exercising or even doing something recreational, and the reason why I'm bringing that up has been a few stories. And before I get into the stories, I just want to talk about what's real, what's going on right now. And that is, from what I heard, all around the country, this is the hottest it's ever been. One of the hottest weekends in mad years. One of the hottest weeks in mad years. Yet, people are not making the adjustments for that. So it's let's say, yourself, Jay, and you can go on, talk about this for your own, anecdotal research. But it's if you're a person who works out outside, right? You work out outside, but now it's 110 degrees, you need to adjust your workout because it's not it's 75 or 80 degrees, and to be just oh man, yeah, I don't care. 80 degrees, 100 degrees, whatever, air quality, that don't mean nothing to me, man. I'm going to keep on going. That's a great way to have some sort of injury in terms of cardiovascularly, with yourself. And so I want to really hone in and talk about how important it is to make adjustments and to put your safety first, even though you still want to get that exercise in, or even though you want to do some recreational activity that you enjoy, because you might not even really see it as exercise. Like myself, right. You know, I like riding my bike. Of course, it's exercise, but I don't look at it in terms of, oh, I'm going to work out. I'm going, oh, I feel like riding my bike today. But, you know, if it's 115 degrees, I'm going to be like, you know what? I might wait.
Maybe I'm not riding today.
Yeah, or maybe I wait till night. You know, let the sun go down, let the temperature drop down to at least 90. Then I can probably get on there. So we need to start making adjustments. And today, what we're going to talk about is some stories that I've seen, and how people have not done that. And let this be a warning that, yo, no matter what you're doing, safety first. Jay.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Yeah, listen. I have been on this jogging journey for a while. I've spoke about it up here. I started in the fall. Haven't been consistent, but as I have been continuing on that journey, part of that game is the weather. The weather is vital. Even recently, I went to the doctor. She told me straight up, "Hey, listen, this weather and air quality has been terrible lately. You probably should not jog outside the rest of the summer." She straight up told me that. I was like, damn, but the whole summer though? She was like, listen, if you feeling good, you can give it a try, but especially like a long run, probably not the best idea. And yeah, I'm not going to lie. I've tried here and there, but like the question then becomes, okay, what is the temperature you're willing to try it at? What time of day? Like Dre said, a great time to do it would be early in the morning, right? Yeah. 6, 7, 5, 8, 9. You know, even some days, I mean, people probably know already up here, I talk about it. I work overnights. When I get home 8, 9 in the morning, a lot of times the heat has already begun. One day I rushed home and was like, I had to get home, drop off my bag, and go for a run outside. Son, it was like 86 degrees when I got home at like 8 something in the morning. I was like, wow, I didn't do anything but come home and just drop off my bag and get dressed. It wasn't like I had to take a shower, have a meal. Yeah, I just dropped off my shit and got dressed.
No doubt.
I was like, all right, let me go. But first, let me check the weather to see what I need to take with me. And son, that shit said like 86 degrees and climbing. I was like, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get undressed and go later. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, these are good times. Checking your weather is important. Like you said, the air quality. And even if you're not, like maybe you're one of those people who does a lot of like body weight exercise, right? You see the cats in the park,
yeah,
pull-ups and the dips. A lot of them rock like the weighted vest. That's great exercise, and we don't we don't debate that. Yeah, right. Oh, thank you. We don't discourage people from doing it, but you want to be out there doing pull-ups and dips when it's 93 degrees? I don't know. And, you know, my thing is I like to listen to your body. Your body is going to give you signals.
Oh, yes.
Right? Even if you feel brave. Oh, you know what? But it's 85. I'm going to go. If you're out there and it's 85 and you're doing your thing, your body's going to start giving you signals. Your heart is beating faster. You're sweating way more than normal. You can't catch your breath. Your throat start feeling like sandpapers in there, even though you just drank water. There's all of these different signs your body's going to give you that are your body is really saying, hey, man, you know, you might want to dial it back a little bit. Hey, man, it's time to stop now. And you got to listen for those signs. So I do that a lot, even if it's like you said, a great example of going at night. Sometimes at night, it's still 80, 85 degrees. Mm-hmm. And so I might feel like, all right, I'm going to go for this run, even though it's 85. If I start that run and my body is telling me it's time to chill, well, then it's time to chill. Then it's time to walk or take the bus or even an Uber if I have to. Sometimes you got to bite the bullet. Listen, man, I thought I was going to be this fly guy and run 7 miles to the train station or the location I'm going to, but my body's saying otherwise. Let me get my phone out and hail me a shared ride of some sort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not shared ride, but, you know, a ride of some sort.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's really important because, you know, you don't know what can happen. Heat exhaustion is real.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And there's tons of other conditions that are not weather related, which we're going to get to in a second. But there's so many just different things that happen. And you got one body and one life. You know, this ain't This ain't a video game where you be like, oh, still got 8 lives left.
Nah.
You don't have 8 lives left. You have 1 life left. And so we have to be mindful of these things. And really, to me, the most important part is listening to your body, because we all have different things going on. If you're in Arizona right now listening to this, man, you used to it being 80 degrees is a good day for you in the summer. You like 80 degrees. I wish there was 80 degrees.
Right.
If you're in Orlando listening to this right now, you know, wherever. I mean, you could be anywhere in the world. My point is there's some places where it's always hot. So 80 degrees might sound perfect for you. Okay, but that don't matter. You still got to listen to your body. I have been indoors and the weather feels great, and outside and inside, and my body's telling me, hey, man, it's not a good day today. We all have good days and bad days, and I have to listen to my body. Okay, that's how you feel today? All right, well, then maybe I got to dial it back or skip today. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're being consistent, it's okay to take a pause and say, all right, body, I'm going to give you what you need, so that way tomorrow or later on you could give me what I need.
Right. Exactly, bro. I could have said it better myself. You know, and when it comes to like even working out inside, those same rules still apply. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, when people are weightlifting, we already know the term ego lifting, right?
Yes.
So for those of you who are not familiar with ego lifting, it just means you're lifting way more weight than you know you can't handle. And so you're lifting it with your ego. You're trying to look more stronger than you actually are. You're ego lifting. Well, let me coin the term ego exercising, because it can have nothing to do with weight, and just be like, yo, you're doing too much. Like you said, you're not taking into account how your body is feeling. And a lot of times people they've been misguided because they feel like, okay, I'm just going to keep working through that, you know, just work through that pain, work through it. You know, your heart is like, you know, like it's about to collapse, but you feel like, oh, no, I just got to work through that. No. You know, calm down for a minute, you know. And so what we've been seeing is, and this is despite of people's ages, you know, this is not, oh, you know, cats in their 50s, 60s, 80s, and they're the ones that's doing it. A lot of times it's people in their 20s, 30s, you know, collapsing, teenagers collapsing because they're not taking a minute to just rest for a second. You know, you got exercises that keep you, okay, keep going. Why? You know, so let's get into some of the things that have happened. For those of you who probably, you know, you probably heard of this already, but LeBron James' son.
Yeah, Bronny. That's what we call him.
Bronny, right? He was working out, you know. Obviously, he's a great basketball player. It's in his genes, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I don't know all the circumstances. If you do, I'm sure you'll go in. But from what I'm hearing is that he was just working out, going hard, doing his thing, working out, going hard, and then just collapsed. Boom, just like that. Now, of course, they got to do tests. He might have heart issues, whatever. But the thing is, my point, even if you're just exercising, not doing weights, doing some cardiovascular stuff, doing circuit training, things like that, and you feel like, well, I'm inside, I'm indoors, and this is a controlled environment. Well, hold on, you know. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't push yourself, but I'm saying you got to have that time to assess and be like, well, hold on, I'm not feeling good right now. Let me stop. Let me chill. I'm getting a weird feeling in my head because, like you said, people could have some sort of a heat stroke or something like that, or I'm getting a weird feeling in my chest or whatever. Then stop. Don't keep going. You know, you have nothing to prove. You, like you said, you only got one man in this game, one man, and you got to make it work.
Right. Yeah. I don't know much more on the Bronny incident. I do know that let's just say this. Consider what this young man has available to him.
Go ahead.
Because I don't know details, so I don't want to speculate. I heard basically the same thing. I did not look into it. So I don't want to speculate on what happened to Bronny. I will say this. Think about the resources this young man has. This is someone whose father is a billionaire. This is someone who is in a prestigious school. This is someone who has tons of resources available to them. This is not someone who is struggling to pay their bills and only has $10 to go to the gym, and they're going to the cheapest gym they can find. This is someone with the best available resources on the planet. Why do I say that? I say that to say, if something happened to that young man with all the things we all would love to have had at that age happening for them, imagine what can happen to you who does not have those resources. My point is, the resources don't matter in those instances.
No.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Bronny did anything wrong.
No.
I'm not saying LeBron did anything wrong. I'm not speculating at all. What I'm saying is there were coaches there, there were staff there, maybe family there. I don't know. My point is, this is not like a story of a young man alone in a broken down gym and some wild, crazy shit happened. My point is, these things can happen to anyone. And so we have to be mindful. We have to be careful. And who knows, maybe we'll find out 6 months from now that Bronny had a pre-existing condition, or maybe it was genetics. Who knows? Anything. But the point is, he was not alone. He has resources, and these things can happen to anyone. We all have to be careful. That's my point. We all have to be careful.
Yeah. And let me just say this, because you're right. He does have access and resources that we could only dream about. Right? But there's also something he have that we don't, and that is a lot of pressure. Your dad is LeBron James. And that's so a lot of times, and I'm not saying anybody is doing this to him, but a lot of times we can put pressure on ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Words out my mouth.
I gotta be great because my dad is LeBron James. I gotta keep pushing because my dad is LeBron James. There's an expectation. Coach, like you said, these coaches are looking at you. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the coaches are coming up to him saying, yeah, you LeBron James' son, I expect more from you. But it's not so much what they're saying. A lot of times it's what we perceive other people are saying. They ain't got to say nothing, but you're saying to yourself, I bet he's thinking, I'm LeBron James' son. I should be going harder than this. I bet the assistant coach is saying that too. I bet those people on the sidelines are looking at it. I bet the reporters looking. They all thinking that. And none of them could be thinking that. But if you perceive that's what they're thinking, you start putting this pressure on yourself and trying to do more and more and more because your dad is the greatest. So you can't be lame. You can't even be standing. You can't even be all right. You can't even just be good.
Right.
You got to be the dopest dude in the gym every fucking time.
Right.
You put that shit on yourself. So what am I saying here? I'm saying be easy on yourself. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. You know, you don't have to lose all the weight right now. You don't have to push all the weight right now. You don't have to run the 20 miles today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Take your time. If that's your goal, you will get there, but take your time. It's going to take a minute to get there. You know, when we put this artificial pressure on ourselves, we put that real stress on ourselves. And, you know, once you put stress into any situation, it makes things on the body way harsher. And the body will just say, I can't take anymore. Collapse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just want to get that clear.
No, I agree. We could hit the next story. I know there was a couple.
Yeah. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about, and it goes right into people working out at the gym. There was this story, and I found my best to get the video of a dude working out, weightlifting, doing some squats, right? Now, any exercise you do, listen to me clearly, people. Any exercise you do, there is some level of danger. Every exercise. we want to do exercises that have the smallest amount, the most minimal amount of danger as possible, but every exercise has some danger to it. Now, when you're doing squats, right? This dude was doing squats, and unfortunately, it ended up in his demise. And I want to try to break down what happened and then what you need to do. So let me start with what you need to do. So when you got a lot of weight, we have all been taught, hey, the great thing to do is to have a spotter, right? But when you have a spotter, your spotter has to be your spotter. They have to know what that means to be a spotter. Being a spotter doesn't mean yelling at the person. Being a spotter doesn't mean, come on, man, you could do more, you could do more. No, that's not a spotter. A spotter's first reason for being there is to make sure what this person is doing is safe, that when they get into trouble, you can get them out. And the only way you can do that is positioning yourself in a way so that you can get them out. So if I'm bench pressing and you're my spotter, you're on top of me, and you start to see me fail, it's not for you to say, come on, you got it, you got it. No, it's for you to bring it up because I'm losing it. Right. Bring it up, okay? Maybe I got to my fourth set, my fifth rep, my seventh rep, whatever. But
your first rep, who cares?
My first rep, whatever, it was too much. Bring it up. Bring it. It's too much weight on there. Bring it up. Help me out. That's what a spotter's supposed to do. But like I'm saying is you have to have a proper position. So when squatting, here's the same thing. When you're squatting with somebody and you're spotting them, I don't really know how to say this, but just say it. The way you spot someone when they're spotting, that means they don't have the racks, because the best way to do it is when you're in a squatting cage. Something goes wrong, you got the things right there, little racks right there, little pins. Boom, it falls on the pins, everything is fine, done. You're good. But a lot of people do free weights. Squatting could be, free weights, and they don't have anything. And so they might have somebody spotting them. Well, here's the thing. If you got somebody spotting you, they can't just be holding on to the bar while you're going up and down. No. The way you spot somebody when you're squatting, you got to be right on top of them. You got to be like on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know people say, oh, no gay and no homo and all that shit. You got to grow up. If you grow up, if you're working out and you're doing squats, and you're doing a lot of weight, and you need somebody to spot you, that person has to be right on top of you, just right on you. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Right on your back. And they're holding your waist. As you go down, as you go down, and if you can't make it, now it's your legs plus their legs. That's what brings it up. Okay? So that's what you want. Now, that's the proper way to do it. Some people mess up, and rather than being that close because they have issues of being so close to a guy or whatever the reason is, they just hold on to the bar. Now, if I'm squatting 500 pounds and I can't make it, you just holding on to the bar, can you lift 500 pounds with just your hands like that? No. So your hands is not going to do nothing. You're saying that your forearms can lift 500 pounds? No, they cannot. Your shoulders can just lift 500 pounds? No, it cannot. You need to incorporate your legs. It's your legs plus the person, you're working out with legs, and that could get that weight up. Anything else? Dangerous. So in this video, what happens is that exactly what I just said is that the dude, his so-called spotter, is spotting him like this and actually makes a dangerous situation even worse. Because if that guy had no spotter at all, right, just by himself had no spotter, he would have failed. It's on his back. He could have dumped it, right? Just dump it, I'm done, and let it fall wherever it falls. But it can't fall because you got somebody behind you. And even though you try to dump it, the weight is going to go back. And you'll see, if I get this video for you, when the guy falls, the weight falls, but it goes back to him, hits him in the back of the head. And he's no longer with us anymore. You understand what I'm saying? So my whole point of saying all this is Safety first. Your spotter needs to know how to spot. That's not yelling. That's not screaming. That's not saying, hey, one more. No. Help the person out. I'd rather be like, yo, I'll work out by myself. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather work out by myself than to have a horrible spotter. Because like in the example I just told you, you're going to actually get me in more trouble if you don't know what you're doing. You know, and this is what I want to say to the people out there listening. I'd rather you work out by yourself or on like maybe a Smith machine or something like that you can like just clamp it down or whatever if you get into problems, than you to have a horrible spotter, because that horrible spotter will cause you more damage in the long run.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Two things to this. Number one, anytime you're working out with someone, that person needs to be educated on how to help you. When I first started working out and Dre was showing me certain things, there was a question of, okay, here, Jay, I'm going to do this, and then you're going to do this. Now that I've shown you, you got the form right. Okay, cool. Jay, you're going to do 5 pounds. Example. Okay, but Jay, I do 60 pounds. Oh, damn, that's a big-ass difference. Okay, now what? Well, then now Jay needs to ask Dre, and he did plenty of times, okay, how do I help you in this situation? If you're doing this exercise and failing, struggling to the point that I can't, it's not going anywhere. It's just not moving. It was going up steady and smooth, or there was a little bit of a struggle. Now, oh shit, Dre can't even move it. What do I do now? How do I help Dre? How do I help my workout buddy, partner? You have to ask that, right? So, one, the person you're working out with needs to be educated on how to assist you when the time comes. It will come at some point. And listen, maybe it never does and I'm wrong, then I'm happy for you. But the worst possible situation is you need help and cannot get help when a weight is quickly going towards your body. You don't want a piece of metal or iron quickly heading towards your body. It's never a good idea. So you want to educate that person. I cannot say that enough. The next piece is you, as the person working out, need to, and we're going to keep saying this for all of these examples, know your limits. That's really what all of this boils down to, is knowing your limits. Nothing wrong with trying, right? I've worked out with Dre and he said, yeah, man, usually, I'm going to be honest, usually when I'm by myself, this is the weight I do. But because you're here and I know you know how to spot me, I'm going to wild out a little bit today. I'm going to throw an extra X amount on it. Because why is Dre saying that? He knows, one, he's educated me on how to help him when the time comes. And two, we've built a rapport, so I know, okay, this is when Dre needs help. Because that's the unspoken part. If you are working out with someone, and I guess this is the third and final piece, if you're working out with someone for the first time, or you're working out with someone who doesn't know your style, they don't really know when you need help. That takes time, and it takes communication. Because there's also been times when I'm like, oh, Dre's struggling, let me jump in. He's like, no, after the 5th one, this is how they look. It's a little harder for me when I get past number 5. I'm like, oh, okay. After number 5, I'll be on the ready, but I won't touch it until I see a certain thing. And so this takes time. This takes communication. And communication from the person doing the workout. We've also both been in situations, me and Dre, where it's like, oh yeah, usually I could rock 10 of these. But on 7 today, you couldn't rock 10 of these. Today on 7, it just was complete fail. And now it's like, no, I know what Dre said, but fuck what Dre said. I got to grab this and get it off of him before he gets hurt. Because nobody wants to get hurt. And honestly, if you're working out with a buddy, it's probably a good time. You're probably having fun, kicking it, having a great time. You don't want the great time to end with a hospital session. It's not a good idea. I don't ever want to be in a position where I got to say to Dre's family, yeah, we were having a great time working out, but then I let the weight fall on him and blah, blah, blah happen.
Right.
Or hey, Dre's family, yeah, we're at such and such hospital right now. He's in surgery because I let blah, blah, blah happen. Yeah. Nah, I don't never want that to be the case. That's my guy. That's my dude. And even if it wasn't, even if it was somebody who was just a stranger paying me to train them. Okay, I still don't want this person to end up injured. You should never want to leave another person injured. So educate yourself, educate your partner, know your limits, and communicate. Communicate.
Yeah, no doubt. And you're right about that, because even if you get a spotter that's like some rando in the gym, you know, like, hey, I'm about to lift this weight. You know what? It's some free weights. I've never done this before. I feel a little bit comfortable if somebody was spotting me. Yo, do you mind spotting me? Like you just said, then take the extra 2 minutes out to educate the person. You know, like, hey, once I get to here, just help me up. Or once I get to blah, 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 just help me up. Now, listen, I want you to spot me. I don't need you to yell at me. I just need you. This is my first time doing this. I don't know if I can get 5 out or 8 out or whatever your number is. Just help me out, because I'm going to try to push something I never pushed before. Take that time to educate that person, bro. You ain't never lied. That's exactly what you need to do. Even if it's a rando at the gym, I'm going to let you know how I need you to spot me. You know what I'm saying? And then if you fail on doing that, like I took my 2 minutes to, you know, gave you what I need, and then we go to do it and you do some other thing, once you pull it up, listen, go ahead, man. No, never mind. No,
thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah. No, I got you this time. No, I'm not going to give you a second time to destroy me. You know what I mean? Nah.
Yeah.
It's done. Move away. That person doesn't know what they're talking about. They're part of the ego exercisers. You don't want them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Safety first, and you killed it. That's exactly what needs to happen.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about something that I spoke of, and I pulled it up. For those of you who are listening to me, you might be new. You should go back to an episode on July 15th, 2021. And that is called Fake Fat Pride. And in that episode, you're going to hear a lot of me saying a lot of things. And, you know, some people thought, you know, Dre, why you have to put it like that? Why you have to say it like that? And in a nutshell, here's what I was saying. People who are obese, people who are morbidly obese, even though they say, I'm happy being this way, I simply called bullshit on it. I'm like, I don't care what they're saying. They're not happy. They're saying that they are, and they love the way they look, but I don't think so. And one person who I used as an example was a entertainer, rapper, I don't know what you want to call her, but well-known Lizzo, right? Incredibly talented. I like a lot of things that she does, but one of the things that I have a personal problem with is she's a person that does this fake fat pride stuff. She puts out these big ass meals, 10,000 calories. There's videos of her just rubbing her big ass belly, saying how much she loves it and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, so many people are just like, yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love the way I like being fat. I like being fat. Well, recently, she's been sued by her dancers for a number of abuses. And I don't need to go into all those abuses, but there is one that I would like to talk about. And one of the allegations is Lizzo told her dancers, who are a little heavy, hey, and I'm going to just, just make up.
Paraphrase?
Paraphrase. I'm just going to paraphrase.
Paraphrase is like shortening, but if you're going to make it up, it's more hyperbole.
Okay, well, both. I'm a paraphrase and I'm doing some hyperbole because I feel like the conversation was just like Lizzo being like, hey, bitches, you're getting too fat. In fact, I haven't read it, but if we really wanted to, we could read exactly what the allegations are. You could read it,
yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, in a nutshell, one of the allegations was, you know, she said that some of the dancers were getting too fat. And I'm like, well, wait a second. Hold on. Why would you complain about anyone getting too fat when you're happy and prideful to be fat? It seems to me that you would be congratulating someone for getting fatter. Like, oh man, what, you put on 10 more pounds in a week? That is impressive. You must have been eating one of my 10,000 calorie breakfasts or some shit. Congratulations, you're doing well. Hope you get fatter. But she didn't say that. And why didn't she say that? Well, the way I see it is she didn't say that because she's not happy about being fat, and she certainly doesn't want to see her dancers get fatter. And I feel like my point has been proven. Fake fat pride confirmed. You're not happy being fat, Lizzo. Just come out and say it. And don't get me wrong, because people already get this confused. Oh, you shouldn't make fun. You're fat shaming. I am not fat shaming. I am not talking about the person who's like, yo, I'm not really happy about the way I look. I'm trying my best. I'm trying this. I'm trying that. Yo, we got a whole podcast going back a few years that's like, here's all these tips to help people try to get on track, try to get it together. So I am not talking about that person. I'm not talking about the person who looks at themselves in the mirror and be like, I need to do something about this. And before people go crazy with comments, I'm not saying she needs to be a size 0 or a size 1 or a size 2. I'm just saying, yo, you know you're overweight, and rather than pretending that you're prideful about it, how about you actually work on it? Now, here's the thing, and I know you know, she's given mixed signals throughout time, right? Sometimes she'll congratulate herself because she lost a few pounds. And then she'll hear it from her fans. What do you mean? What are you talking about? You lost a few pounds. We supposed to be happy about being fat. They're getting mixed signals from her. So, once again, I feel like just come out and be honest to yourself, first of all, and to those millions of people who follow you and be like, hey, yes, women, we are overweight, or we're obese, or we're morbidly obese, or whatever it might be. And we need to work on getting ourselves to a healthier body weight so that we can live longer and not have all the diseases that are associated with being obese or morbidly obese, diabetes and blood pressure and all this other stuff. That's my point. Let's go in.
All right. So before I respond, let's just read a little bit about these allegations.
Yeah, the allegations.
Headline reads, former Lizzo dancers were weight shamed and pressured while at strip club. Lawsuit says 3 former dancers have filed a suit against Lizzo, accusing the singer of sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment. That's the headline. That's what makes everybody click. Now let's just read a little piece of what's going on. And so it says 3 of Lizzo's former dancers have accused the singer of sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment in a lawsuit filed Tuesday. They also alleged that she pressured one of them to touch a nude performer at an Amsterdam club and subjected the group to quote-unquote excruciating audition after leveling false accusations that they were drinking on the job. The dancers accused Lizzo, a performer known for embracing body positivity and celebrating her physique, of calling attention to one dancer's weight gain and later berating, then firing that dancer after she recorded a meeting because of a health condition. And so there's more and more. Oh, we're not getting into the lewd acts. Right. We are going to discuss the weight stuff.
Yeah, so, the hostile work environment, all that. You have a whole nother show that can probably deal with that. That's fine.
Well, part of the hostile work environment is the weight shaming. So yes, that is actually what we're going to discuss.
Right. But the entire
so that's the part
thing,
that. We're probably not discussing.
That's not really the focus of Food, Fitness, and Fun. But I do want to talk about a fat person fat shaming someone else. Let's go.
Yes. So right now, Lizzo also put out a statement basically saying it's not true. Okay. And people are coming at her and trying to tear her down. That's me paraphrasing. I'm not going to read Lizzo's statement. But this is what I can say. I was not there. We don't have any evidence yet. Yes, that article said a conversation was recorded. I haven't heard it. Have you heard the recorded conversation, Dre?
Nope.
Okay, great. So right now we have 3 dancers who used to work for her. We also have, and this is not in that article, but I already heard somewhere else, we also have a documentarian who came out, a person who was going to shoot a documentary about Lizzo, who came forward and said, hey, listen, I was with them for 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, I witnessed Lizzo say and do horrible things. And it made me no longer want to work with Lizzo. And so I got the hell out of there as fast as possible. I am paraphrasing. Those are not her identical words for those who are going to nitpick at what we're saying here. So what will we say? What will we say? What will I say? Let's start with the hostile work environment. No one said that anyone was going to be nice to you in the entertainment industry. Does that mean that it's a good thing? No. But am I surprised about a quote-unquote hostile work environment? No, I'm not. I'm not surprised at all about a huge star pressuring and maybe ODing on their staff. If you've seen any movie or any doc about the entertainment industry, there's all types of things happening that are not nice. And if they're not nice, that doesn't mean they're not legal. Let's be clear. There's plenty of ways to smack you around figuratively and make you feel not nice that are very legal. Now, that's number one. Number two is, I'm saying that doesn't shock me, to be clear. That's my first point. I'm not shocked at the hostile work environment. Number two, the next part is they're saying that Lizzo made comments on someone's weight gain. And I think there's a two-sided coin here. I see your face, Trey. There's a two-sided coin. Number one, I think that society has learned to take a person's image at face value. Every celebrity, most celebrities are selling you a fake image, right? Like when you look at a commercial for McDonald's, you see this big, juicy, beautiful burger. And when you go in and order that burger, it don't look anything like that shit on TV. Mm-hmm. If you went for the first time to fast food after seeing a commercial, whether you were a kid or an adult, you felt like, but this ain't what I saw. Mm-hmm. Something ain't right here.
Right.
I feel gypped. That's our fault for taking that at face value. That's number one. That's the first side of the coin, right? Lizzo may say these things and promote an image, but we don't know the real Lizzo. So that's the first side of the coin. The second side of the coin is, how I want to word this. The second side of the coin is hurt people hurt people. And so after being shamed, after being dissed, after being put down, after being publicly humiliated, I have seen many things where people are going super crazy dissing Lizzo, even when it's not called for. All type of not nice words that I won't repeat here. And so sometimes, and this is psychology, this is just human, right? Sometimes when you're the person who's been abused, you turn around and abuse others, right? The person who was getting smacked and punched their whole life as a child, when they grow up, what do they do to others? Now they smack and punch everybody they can. I'm not justifying any of this. I'm simply stating what could possibly be true. That's why I say two-sided coin. Now, my opinion. What is my opinion? I think we don't know enough. That's number one. I don't like to go off of hearsay. I like to go off of factual evidence. At the moment, we have none. I have not seen a video of Lizzo doing this. They say there's a recorded conversation. I have not heard this recorded conversation. So what can we go off of? Speculation, accusations. It's not how I operate. Anyone today can say anything. Anyone today can word things in a way in which I'm going to try to get myself some extra dollars. I'm going to try to chase the coins, as the internet likes to say. And so we don't know what's real here. We don't know, did Lizzo do this? And so I will not take anyone's side as of yet. What I will say is this. Would it surprise me if it happened? No. Is it right if it happened? No. And what I want to say is if, and this is a big ass if it comes out that we find proof, undeniable proof that Lizzo did do these things, then we have to stop taking things at face value. I think we should already stop taking things at face value. Okay, maybe third time's a charm. Let's see. So, I don't even remember what the hell I was saying now. I can be up here saying I'm into fitness, I'm running, I'm doing all these things, and not be doing any of that shit. You don't know if you're not around me. You don't know if you even following me on social media. I make the joke all the time that I don't post my nasty shit. People say, yo, Jay, why you don't post the nasty shit? And I say, it doesn't really help with the image I'm trying to put out. And sometimes I do, just to show people I'm human. Yes, I did have cheesecake. Yes, I did have ice cream. Yes, I did have a big ass cookie, right? Yes, I did play loud music as I drove past someone's house. But I'd like to try to show the real side, but everyone is not. If I had a contract with such and such company because they're trying to pay me to be a quote unquote fitness influencer, or they want me to help sell their product, maybe the contract doesn't allow me to post the Ben and Jerry's that I ate last night. So we have to stop taking people's image at face value. That I will say. And if it comes out that Lizzo did do these things, if we see undeniable proof, then I will chime in on what happened. But right now, what I think, speculation, I don't operate that way. And so I want to operate with a little bit of class and say, that's all I got. Your turn.
All right. So I'm going to take everything you just said and
go the opposite route.
No, just factor it in. So right. Your last target, your last topic first is that, yes, Lizzo is a big target, right? Anytime someone is worth multi-millions of dollars, people are going to find a way to try to get money from them. And the way you do it here in America is through lawsuits. So I get that, right? I definitely get that. Like, oh, man, if I could find a way to sue Apple, I'm going to get paid. If I could find a way to sue Tom Cruise, I'm going to get paid. The bigger you are, the more of a target you are. And so you have a point there. So I definitely recognize that. But the other point that you said resonates with me, and that is the hurt people, right? In psychology, it's called like projecting. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, well, we know, we came up in this era where a lot of times parents might say, or our parents might have said, you hear people say this, don't do what I do, do what I say, right?
Do as I say, not as I do.
Do as I say, not as I do, right? So it's like, well, Lizzo could be one of these types of cats where it's just like, well, hey, I know I'm gaining weight and I don't feel happy about that, but I'm going to put a standard on you that I can't uphold myself and say you need to stop gaining so much weight. You know what I'm saying? It's very common. So like you said, it wouldn't surprise me to hear someone say she said that, because that's very, very common. People do that kind of toxic, fucked up shit all the time, right? Do as I say, not as I do, right?
Right.
If I'm telling you need to lose weight, don't worry about that I just gained 10 pounds, a week ago. Like, no. So I could see that. My other point was, we used to have a word. I know people don't use these words anymore, and I know I'm showing my age, but it's basically your other point is that could she be putting on some kind of like fake ass image, right? We used to call that back in the day, you fronting. Right? You
absolutely
right. And what we used to say is, don't front for me. You know what I mean? Why are you fronting for me for? Like, keep it real. I feel like, why should you have to front? Why have you put on this fake shit? Most people would really agree with you if you're like, yo, it's a struggle. I'm going to be honest with you. It's a struggle. Yes, I would like to lose the weight, but damn, Ben & Jerry's is good as fuck. Yeah, I would like to use the weight, but yeah, you know, that McDonald's ad is fucking tantalizing, man. I'm just thinking about quarter pounders. In fact, just now when you said, you know, McDonald's, blah, 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 like something went on my mind. I'm like, yeah, but I feel like a quarter pounder though. You know?
Right.
So it's like, I will respect you more if you just came up and been like, yo, it's a struggle, man. It's just like, it's hard. I'm not happy about the way I look. I don't take any pride in it, but you know, I'm trying to accept where I'm at and then move on to a place I would like to be. And that's all we really do with this whole show is we, you know, because I told somebody this and they kind of got on me and I'm like, you don't understand what I do and what we're about. I've never been about shaming anyone. I'm like, okay, yeah, accept where you are. Accepting where you are is to look in the mirror and be honest with yourself, right? Be like, okay, yeah, this is not really where I want to be, but this is where I am. So I'm going to accept that because that's the truth. And I'm going to work towards being someplace where I want to be. If she would do that, I feel she would have a greater and stronger fan base rather than this sort of like hypocritic type thing. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, what, bitch, are you with us? Are you not with us? Right? Because she'll put something out there that's like fat acceptance. You got half her audience like, yeah, that's what we're talking about. And the other half is like, nah, I don't really know about that. Then she'll put something out there that's like, hey, I'm really trying to like, you know, I think she had made something about like not eating meat for a little bit or something like that once, or, you know, she may have lost a few pounds or whatever. She was proud of herself. And you have half of her audience like, yeah, girl, that's it. You know we taking it one day at a time. We trying to do our best out here. But the fat acceptance people was just like, yo, what you trying to say? Like, you're not happy with being fat. So it would be better if you just been honest, like, yeah, you know, I am trying to do my thing, but you know, like we always say, sometimes you just get caught up. We're just human beings. We're not machines here. You know, if I'm out last night, I'm out, and you know, I wanted a drink. Fuck, I'm just gonna get this cocktail, man. All right. I feel like I wanted 3 of them. I just had one. You know, but I still had it. It's still empty ass calories. I still have to deal with it. But it's like, yo, we don't post that. You're right. You know, I don't post, you know, my cocktails. You know what I'm saying? I'm not posting the ice cream or the, you know, when I stop. Sometimes when I come from a workout and I go to Walmart and I'm buying my food. I'm buying all this healthy stuff. But then I see those little dollar cookies right there, and I'm just like, well. Looks like he needs a friend, so let me just
that'll make it to the Instagram.
You know what I mean? Right. So it's like, but I'm not going to front on myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to act like this doesn't happen. And maybe we should. I don't know. But the case is, she's fronting. If that's what's happening, you know, you're fronting. You're putting on a fake sort of like profile, and you don't need to do that. So my whole thing, the whole point of my whole thing was the fake fat pride. And that's all fake fat pride really means, is that you're fronting, right? You're saying that you are prideful in something that you're really not. And I can't wait. We will have a part 3 because it will go to court and people will make statements. They're going to try their best to close it. You know, they don't want cameras and shit up there. Of course not. But something's going to happen to this. It has to go to court. And she might just settle, you know, to kind of get the thing, you know, done. But whatever the case might be, even if she settles, there's going to be statements made. And as soon as they do, we're going to be here. One more thing before we wrap up. I didn't even tell Jay about this, so this is kind of live. What I want us to start doing now, those of you who are listening, if you follow us on Instagram or your Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast is, when you write your comments or whatever, let's do something new. We're going to add a new segment. We're going to start accepting some questions. So if you got questions that you want to ask me, you want to ask Jay about anything, well, not about anything, fitness related stuff, food related.
Right, sure?
right. That's how I had to say. I already know how people are. I already know how people are. Like, yo, so I mean, who you with? What you doing? What kind of, is it long? Like, no, I'm not. I don't go.
Is it long? That's the name of the episode. You lucky. You lucky that we already agreed on the episode title, because that would be the name of the episode.
You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not doing all that. But food, fitness, fun topics that you feel like, oh man, I wonder how they feel about this, or, you know, I'm trying to get myself together. You have any advice or stuff like that? If you want to ask us some questions, if they're good questions, we will read the questions, maybe read who it's from. If you don't want to be, you know, if you don't mind, or if you want to be anonymous, we'd be like, okay, we're not going to tell you who it's from, but right. we'll answer some of y'all questions. You know what I mean? So don't be shy. Ask questions, put them in the comments. If you're on Instagram, put it there. You can DM me. You can DM Jay. This will be on our Food, Fitness, and Fun podcast page. Ask away. I'll be happy to answer anything I know. You know, I keep calling myself the sensei of fitness, so challenge me. Challenge me. You know what I'm saying? See if I know what I know, because I know what I know. And you can ask Jay whatever he wants. Like he said, he's been in the fitness industry for a long time as well. In fact, and we're both doing our own sort of like journeys. So ask us anything you want, and we'll be more than happy to answer y'all questions. Boom.
Yes. Okay, so I do want to say one last thing about the Lizzo stuff. So
okay.
I think you have a great point about the image stuff.
Yeah.
I think the problem comes, and now I'm broadening the topic a bit, but I think the problem comes when your bread and butter are built on that image. If you build a brand, let's use you for example, right? If you create a brand where you're the teacher, right? And you say, yeah, his 5 pillars are these 5 things. But then we come to find out you don't know shit about martial arts.
Right.
You don't know shit about fitness. Now there's a little bit of a problem. Now it's harder for you to come and be like, actually, y'all, I'm really struggling with my martial arts right now. But wait a minute, you the sensei, you the teacher. How you gonna come up here and say you struggling? Now you've lost your sponsors, you've lost your contracts, you've lost all of these things. And I want to be clear, I'm not agreeing with the image. I'm just saying I think this is when it becomes a little more challenging. If all we know is that you eat anything flaming hot Cheetos, and then we tell you, hey man, they made a flaming hot Cheetos cream cheese, you say, oh, that shit nasty, I would never eat that. Now we have questions because you are the flaming hot Cheetos person. And so I think that's when it becomes a little difficult. You can respond, but let me just finish my point.
My bad. Yeah,
I agree, authenticity is always the better route.
Yeah.
But some of this stuff in the entertainment industry, you have signed contracts that say the opposite. And now you have a hard decision to make when it's time to take the $1 million you were supposed to get this year, or break the contract and lose $1 million plus the money that you was going to get this year because you want to keep it real. Very hard to do that because they've put themselves in these positions through contracts and other obligations. Go ahead.
See, I think it's a little bit different when it comes to Lizzo in terms of the analogy that you use, because Lizzo is, I'm about to tell you why I think that. Lizzo is famous for being an entertainer and rapping and stuff like that, right? Now she says
singing,
singing and all that. So she says these other things on her platforms that have nothing to do with that. So the proper more analogy, if it comes to me, where it'd be like, all right, I'm a sensei of fitness, martial arts and stuff like that. And that's what I'm known for. And then I say, hey, you know what? Greenhouse gases are crazy. That's why I don't drive at all. All I use is a bike. Right? And you just, I just send you pictures of me on my bike and I'm having, and it's like, Dre, he's an environmentalist, man. He don't never ride. He don't own a car or nothing like that. All he do is ride bikes. Then it comes out, I just saw this nigga in the truck. Like, that's the worst right. vehicle ever. Like, what is going on? That would be different. So it's like, bro, you could have just been honest and been like, I enjoy riding my bike, but honestly, sometimes through whatever circumstances, you ride your car. It don't have anything to do with me being a sensei or being in fitness. It's just one of the things that I kind of like put out there, right? And so it's like, you're not known for being a fitness person, Lizzo. You're known for being an entertainer. Now you put something out there that is not necessarily true, and it may or may not be. Like, we don't know yet, but it's like, why do that? You know what I'm saying? That's my only point, is that your bread and butter, as you said, is being a entertainer, to make these songs, today that's not, to sing these songs. You know, I know she's fly with the certain instruments and shit like
flute.
That. Yeah, the flute. Like, you got mad talent. She can dance. She can do her thing. Yo, that's the stuff I like about you. Like, yo, that's what's up. So why front on something? Why be like, yo, I'm a Democrat, and then you found out that I've been voting Republican for the past 5 or 6 years? It's like, why? Well, you could have just said, I'm a centrist. Sometimes I vote Republican. You ain't had to put yourself in bed with something that you know you're not really with anyway. Like, that's dumb to me. Yeah.
Okay, cool. A while back, we came up here and spoke about Lizzo's show that you enjoyed. Yeah. What's the name of the show?
I forget the name of the show. I don't know.
Here Come the Big Girls.
Oh yeah.
Let me make it like my man Days says. Shout out to Days again. Let me make it sexy for you. Not only is that the name of her show, not only was that an Amazon exclusive show.
Yes, sir.
The show has gone on to win an Emmy.
Okay. It's time for the big girl.
That is tied to her brand. Exactly. You see? Exactly. It is tied to her brand. Exactly. You just proved my point. Exactly.
I just like
that is tied to Lizzo's name.
Right.
That is tied to Lizzo's branding. You don't know if there's a season 2. You don't know if season 2 is already filmed. Lizzo has a brand today. Maybe not when she first started, but today, much of Lizzo's brand is around body positivity, around acceptance, around open sexuality. This is the Lizzo brand today. 5 years ago, maybe not. Today, in 2023, that is Lizzo's brand. She even says, one of my favorite things to quote from her, she said it at a concert, I'm going to mind my fat, black, beautiful business. That's what she said. Being fat and being accepting in all the ways is part of Lizzo's brand. That's why I say it.
Okay.
She literally has contractual obligations, Amazon and others, that are tied to that brand and that stance.
Yeah, but
and that's why.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
That's why I believe we will never know the truth if we keeping it real about this lawsuit.
Yeah, but
because they will probably settle and never let any real truth come out about this incident.
And I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is, it's still not if it's not authentic, it's not authentic. Meaning, the truth will always come out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she could have accomplished everything she accomplished and just been real. Like the fat acceptance, like we just said, accepting where you are, right? I'm here right now. But there is a journey. And that journey, we struggle. You know what I'm saying? Oprah, who was the fat acceptance person before there was a term called fat acceptance, was always on that. Like, hey, ladies, this is where we are, and we're all kind of struggling. And Oprah weight would go up and down and up and down. And she would, she'd be honest with it. There's so many quotes. Oprah, I love bread. Oh, bread. And she just like, I can't, I can't keep that small Oprah because I like pasta and shit. You know what I mean? Like, she kept it real with her audience, and that's why she's a fucking media god right now, because she was mad authentic. So it didn't stop her forward progress. And what I'm saying with Lizzo is that would not stop her forward progress because people would understand. So she could still have a show say, get ready for the big girls and all the big, because you say, hey, ain't nothing wrong with big girls. Big girls are sexy too. Yeah, you know how we feel like, big girls are fucking sexy. I ain't saying nothing wrong with that, So like, be that. But don't go that extra step or extra 4 or 5 steps of being like, I like being fat and I want to sort of stay fat and I'm proud that I'm fat. And now something may have come out where you told somebody else they're too fat. That to me don't make sense. Where you could have just been like, hey, I'm not I don't want to get any bigger, or, so I might get bigger, I may not. It's a struggle. We're all in this together. And however, with your dancers, maybe you want them to be a certain size. You can be big, but you can't be my size big. I have no idea. But anyway, I think it's interesting. I can't wait to see how this develops. We're going to definitely talk about it again when it goes to trial or whatever happens.
Dave Chappelle said on a comedy special, I've done work with both Coke and Pepsi. And people come up to me all the time and they say, which one is better, Coke or Pepsi? And my answer is always the same. Whichever one is currently paying me.
That's it.
That's my last piece.
All
right. Then we out of here on that note. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. If you have questions, throw it in the comments. DM us on the Food, Fitness, and Fun profile. Please do not DM me personally. Please, if you have questions, please put it in the DMs for Food, Fitness, and Fun Pod. That is our Instagram, TikTok, everything. That's where you can send it.
We're going to put something up there. I'm
about to say, I will even put it on the screen for those watching.
Right.
Please put the comments and questions there. If you want to comment on the YouTube or the Spotify or the Apple, no problem. We will gladly take your questions and address them here. Don't ask how long. We're not answering that one, just to reiterate what Dre said. All right? And everybody else, thank you. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Peace out.